We are good to go. Hey, hey, hey. How are you? How are you? Hello, everybody. Come on in. Come on in. Well, first of all, I want to introduce myself. I am Tabitha Hall Pennant, and you are watching live Talking with Tabitha. We're coming from Facebook Live as well as on my YouTube channel. So if you have not subscribed to the YouTube channel, please go and subscribe to my YouTube channel. We are actually live from there now. So I told you guys last Monday, that when I came on to introduce myself, that all this is kind of new to me, and I'm just going in and I'm learning and I'm learning and I'm learning. I'm so grateful for people like our guest today to help me on this journey. So I'm so grateful. But I want to let you all know that this episode, I'm going to give a trigger warning. I've had the opportunity to speak with this young lady, to read her story, to know her story, and I'm telling you now, it's not a story that, it's pretty deep. Let me put it that way. It's pretty deep. So please govern yourself accordingly. So I'm going to introduce our guest, and we're going with the flow. We're going to cover questions and talk about a few things, but we're just trusting the process. We know that spirit and energy is all up in here, so we're going to go with the flow. But just do know that there will be some times, some moments that she may share some things that may trigger something for you. And if that's the case, I would suggest, if you feel like you have to exit from the channel, then do that. Or if afterwards, if you want to get more information about where she is now, or even about if it kind of triggered something for you, and you want to be able to maybe take your situation a little deeper, please make that note in the chat. And we can definitely, we're working closely with the Afia Center. I work closely with some deaf doulas. So if you guys need to go into some deeper things, please let us know. Okay, so I am with Miss Linda B. And our topic today, or the title, is A Long Way From Home. And I don't know what you think about when you hear that, but I just kind of get up, okay, long way from home. You're just, chilling. You went somewhere and came back, and you were just a long way from home at some point. But for Miss Linda, there's a whole different meaning behind a long way from home. So I'm going to let her just kind of come in how she want to do it. At this point, y'all know how I am. I like to suggest you take a deep breath. I'm going to take a deep breath. I'm going to go heart center. And we're just going to bless this podcast and bless the information that Ms. Linda is going to be giving us. And I know that it's going to be a help. It's already helped me. And she doesn't even know. I haven't even shared with her my situation, but she has helped me already. So Linda, tell us about what was going on in your life when you were a long way from home.
Okay. So, hi, my name is Linda. I am from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and I've been living here in the Dallas, Texas area for about 23 years now. So a long way from home, for me, the reason why I came up with that title is because I was a long way from home. I was on the Amtrak train coming back from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and I had a layover in Chicago where I boarded a second train to head back to Dallas. And I went into crew labor on the train. Basically, it went from being on the train to being taken off the train in Joliet, Illinois. I don't know. Hold on for 1 second.
Okay. Take your time.
So don't let me go into the story just abrupt like that. But
Okay.
so how it all began. I'm just going to be very transparent. Just going to give it to you all. I started to have some light bleeding. It wasn't heavy. It was very light, a little bit of light cramping. And I reached out to at that time I didn't know she was a conductor, but she was a conductor of the train. And I told her what I was experiencing, and I told her where I was going. And she told me that I would need to exit the train because I told her what I was going through, and I became a liability, I would say, because I told her if anything was to happen afterwards on the journey to Dallas, that they would become liable. So it would be best for me to exit the train at the next coming station, which would have been Joliet, Illinois. And we arrived there at 2:47 p.m. and the ambulance and the fire department was already waiting. And they took me off the train and they took me to a hospital about less than 2 miles away from the train station. And from there, I got admitted into the hospital and sat for a while. Then they did a sonogram on me, and they told me that my baby did not have any fetal heart. There was no fetal heartbeat. And then I was 27 weeks at the time, and that was the only time they told me that I did not have any fetal heartbeat. Well, that's the only sonogram that they did on me. So they went on to care for me while I was at that moment, and I sat there for a while, and around 10:30, they were telling me that I was going to be discharged from the hospital. That's what ended up happening, was I was discharged from the hospital at night, and I went into the lobby area of this hospital. And mind you, I was taken out of the hospital on December 31st of 2002. So it was New Year's Eve. I went to the lobby to make phone calls because I didn't have access to a phone in the back area where I was being cared for. So the first place I called was Amtrak to make sure my ticket was going to be solidified for the next day. And then I called home, called my family. I had to call them collect because I was using a regular phone at that time. So I called collect. I couldn't get anyone to answer the phone. No one answered. I called. This was after Amtrak, so my ticket was good. Everything was okay. So I couldn't get anyone to answer the phone. Still sitting there, so I decided to call Amtrak back again to see, well, maybe I can go down back to the station and just wait it out to the next day, because there's only one train that leaves that town a day that goes to Dallas. The train station was not open. The train station closed at 7 p.m. So that was not an option. So I'm just sitting there at that time, just sitting there pondering, what am I going to do? So I grabbed the yellow pages and I started flipping through it, looking for motels or hotels in the area. I didn't see any. Not in that town where I was at. In Chicago, yes, which was about 40 miles away from where I was at. While I was doing that, a nurse, I'm assuming that she's a nurse, she came from the back and she asked me what was I doing. I told her what I was doing. And she said, okay. And she said, well, don't be long. And she stepped away from me. I'm still looking through the yellow pages, don't see anything. So as I'm sitting there, at this time, I had my 2-year-old son with me, my 2-year-old was asleep on me. So he's knocked out, I'm sitting there, and mind you, I'm in pain. They give me a pain medicine to kind of help me out a little bit on my pain, and I'm still bleeding. I'm confused because why I was discharged, but I can only assume why I was discharged, but I don't actually know why I was discharged. So as I'm sitting there, I see police officers coming in. 2 coming in from the left, 1 coming in from the right. And I'm not thinking anything of it because I'm not thinking anything of it. I was thinking to myself, well, someone must be acting up in the back or something like that. And they walked by me, so I'm definitely not thinking anything of it until the lady that asked me what I was doing came. She came back and she pointed towards me. And they came towards me and they asked me to stand up. So I'm like, why? Well, I'm asking why? And I stood up, and the officers to my left side said that they got a call for someone trespassing into the hospital. And I said, I'm not trespassing to hospital. And the lady, she's still standing there, just staring. And she said, yeah, you know, like you were. And I said, no, I wasn't. And at that time, my mind is racing, like, okay, what was happening? You know, my strength is low, but you know, what is happening? And I just looked to the officer to the right, and I showed him my arm bracelet and my paperwork that they gave me. And I said, I just got discharged from here about 35 minutes ago. And I was taken off the Amtrak train here. I've never been here a day in my life. I don't know where I'm at. And the reason why I put emphasis on it, it was about 5 feet of snow out, and it was snowing heavy. It was about maybe 12 degrees outside. And when I said that to him, and the reason why I turned to him was because his eye, he was warm. I felt the warm energy from him. And when I said that, after I said that and showed him my paperwork, and they could visibly see that I was pregnant, he said, all right, come with me. And he took me and my son to his patrol car, and he took us maybe about 7 minutes away to a shelter center in a church called Daybreak. And the town, like in a little, what they call a downtown area, but it was still a really small town. So that's where, as soon as he walked with us, he came in with us, and they were having a New Year's Eve party.
Okay.
So everything was laid out. There's people that lived there, people that worked there. Everybody was smiling and happy. They introduced me and my son to the volunteers, to the staff, and to the people that lived there. They asked us what was we hungry. They made us a plate, gave us some food, and the officer that took me there actually stayed with us all and brought in the new year. And after they did that, it was cleanup time. My intake was very light because they knew I was already coming there already. So they didn't have to do a regular intake on me. But they asked me for a whole bunch of stuff, and it was only because it was what they would consider temporary. So we all went down in the basement and sat down in the basement on the Gemex on the basement, and I was relieved, even though the situation with calling calling the police on me
Right.
for trespassing was unwarranted,
Mhm.
but it actually got me from point A to point B.
Right, okay.
So I give thanks for that.
Right.
And as with every, where these people are nice, they're humble and they're fine. So the morning came, I made some friends while I was there. Two older people that I met while I was there that are actually the ones that took us to the train station to try to reboard. So we stayed there until probably about 1:30, and we headed our way to the train station, which wasn't far away from there. They dropped me and my son off. I went and checked in, finally get to go back to Dallas, go back home. I'm sitting there, I got the worst pain I've ever felt. And I already, I had my son, I've been in labor before, but I have never felt anything like this. And it was hard, it was strong, real strong. And I got up, I stood up and I said, whoa. And I said, come on, Sean. I grabbed my son by the hand. And I started walking towards the Amtrak public bathroom. Went into the stall, and I'm in pain. I pulled my pants down, and as soon as I pulled my pants down, my water broke. Just everywhere. And I'm in a lot of pain. I managed to walk back to the desk to tell them to call the ambulance again. I'm in labor, and I knew it was labor, because my water broke. And the ambulance came, the same two people that came to get me from the train the first day came again. But this time we walked to the ambulance. They didn't bring the stretcher in, and then I walked.
And all this pain.
Walked. I had to stop because it was too much. I had to stop, and I stopped, and I continued to walk. It was a different energy to me that they were giving me to say, "Oh, come on," and that. So I made it to the ambulance, and it took me back to the same hospital that I was at the first time.
Back to the hospital where the police came for trespassing. Okay.
It took me there. It took me there, and it was different the second time going there. Different, maybe a different part of the hospital, an older part of the hospital I was taken to. So when I went in the first time, I was of course in an emergency room. So I guess I'm assuming that I went to the labor and delivery area, but not the same. It was not the same part. It was different. The room that they took me to was more like a supplies room / hospital room. There was boxes of gloves. There was sheets, blankets. There was stuff stacked up in this room. There's a TV. There's a chair. And my bed, of course, my bed was pushed in there. So there wasn't a bed in there already. They pushed my bed in there, and my bed took up the whole wall where the sink and all that is at. That's how small this room was. And I remember them starting an IV, and that's all I remember until I woke up. And the rest of my experience was kept waking up, and things were going on. So when I woke up, I don't know how many hours it had went by. I don't know. But my son, he was in the chair by the bed, asleep, about to fall out of the chair. It was snacks, stuff that he got into his bag.
Mm.
There was stuff everywhere. It's chips, popcorn, just all over the floor. And I'm not looking at him about to fall, and I'm trying to let me get my baby. And I could not get up. I couldn't get up, so I could not lift my top half up. And I kept trying, only can lift up my neck and my head up just a little bit. And I held on to the side of the bed rails. And as I'm doing that, I feel a solid warmness, wetness in between my legs. And I lift up the sheet, and there's the baby there. No movement. I didn't hear any sound. The coloration was different, light and dark. The ear, I could see the ear and the shoulders and the arms. The ear at the top was dark and like translucent, like in two colors. And I just put the sheet down real fast, and I just couldn't get up. And then the nurse, about 10 minutes, a nurse came in, and I said, I need help getting him up, getting my son up. He's gonna fall out this chair. And she helped with that, and I said, look, under the cover. She lifted up the cover, and she said, just put it down, and she left out real fast. And when she came back in, what I think looks like a mixing bowl, like silver, chrome mixing bowl. I got a big size mixing bowl, and she said the mixing bowl like a little table, and I don't know if she cut. I don't know if she cut the cord. I don't know, but I know she put the baby in there, in the bowl, and left, and I didn't see her anymore. When she did that, 2 doctors came in. Doctors I don't remember ever seeing. I didn't recognize them. I didn't know them. They came in aggressively to me, and they told me that I needed to get some surgeries done. I needed to get a surgery done, a DNC done, and I needed someone to come and pick up my son. I said, I was taken off the train. I don't know anybody in this state. I don't know anyone here. I can't come pick him up. They got anyone come pick him up. And they said, okay. And when they said, okay, that's when the lady came in from the DIFAS. They call it DH.
Okay, so we call it CPS here, something. Okay.
They call it CPS here,
Okay.
but there is DIFAS. And she came in, they introduced us, they told me that she was the one that was going to be taking my son with her while they took care of me. And
were you able to understand all of this at this point, or are you still kind of at that in and out?
That was definitely in and out.
Okay.
I don't know what I was in and out on, but I was definitely in and out. I don't remember, because there's a lot of gaps.
Yeah, okay.
And there's a lot of gaps in between there. I just know that he also, because I didn't want to have my son go with them. Anyway. I didn't want to stay with me.
Right.
But that wasn't an option. And he said, when I gave a resistance about that, he said, well, you can go against what we say and sign a waiver to where you won't get any services, but you'll be putting your life in danger because of that. You can bleed out, this and the other. So I said, okay. I said, okay. And they took him. And I don't remember anything until I woke up again. woke up again. I was on a table, what I call a metal cutout, like a metal cutout of, you know how we have a body shape, like a
Yeah,
table that looked like our body shape. Was on something like that. I woke up like that, and then I woke up again to them pulling the cord, tube
tube,
out of my throat, and I was throwing up, and they were holding something to catch it. I woke up like that. And then I woke up again to the priest praying on the side of me, and I got discharged very fast, super fast. Like as soon as I woke up, of course it was the next day, and I was gone that day, back on the train.
So did they bring your son back to the hospital, or you had to go again?
No, when I woke up and after the nurses came in, after the priest left, I guess he went and told them she's woke. And they came in, they checked on me, they checked my vitals. And then the lady that came, the lady with CPS, she came. And that too took me. She took me to pick up my son, and she took me to the train station.
Wow.
So she popped up now, and I'm saying CPS or DIFAS, but she could also be an in-hospital CPS and DIFAS caseworker, which I learned later.
Okay. So you didn't, that wasn't even specified? You didn't know, hey, this is...
But they were just taking him somewhere.
Just taking him somewhere.
Now, I did meet with the person that had my son. I met her. Because she brought him out of the house and put him in the backseat of the car. And that's another thing. When the worker that took me to get my son, I had to be laid out in the back of her car. Laid out. Because I was sore. I was sore in the inside and I was sore in the outside. I do remember that, and I laid out. And when they brought my son to me, he got in the back seat with me too, and I'm still laid out. And she took us to the train station. Now, before that, there was some questions. Of course, I had questions for the nurse, and I don't remember everything, all the questions that I had, but I do remember. I asked them, I said, I would like to take my baby's body with me to Dallas. And I was told that I couldn't because I didn't have the proper storage or something to keep the body in transport to Dallas, that I couldn't. And it was nothing I said about it.
No more discussion.
No more
maybe
discussion.
we can get it to Dallas, maybe we could do
No
something.
funeral arrangements, no options, no nothing, just move fast. And with the worker, they moved me, they said, well, you know you want to get to your son. Yes, of course I want to get out.
Yeah, but I want to be all right too. I
Yeah,
want to get to my son
and I wanted to leave.
Yeah,
I wanted to get out of there, and I wanted to go, and I was worried about my son. I was worried about myself. And I always wondered, I was worried about the baby because they didn't tell me anything. And then I saw the baby.
Right.
So I saw the baby, and that was it for me. That was it. There was nothing. And the harder part after that was after I got back to Dallas, calling, trying to get information, because I was given paperwork the first day I was there when they took me off the train.
Okay, so the first time you went there, they gave you paperwork.
They gave me paperwork.
Okay. And what happened then?
The paperwork was gone. It was gone. It wasn't in my belongings. It wasn't in anything.
So that paperwork you had.
And I only had a paper.
A sheet.
The bag at the hospital.
Oh yeah, like the clear plastic.
All my luggage, my umbrella stroller, all that stuff was underneath the train headed to Dallas.
Headed to Dallas, right.
So I didn't have any pain, but what they gave to me, and it wasn't in there. They gave me like a little gift bag when they were discharging me, and they said, "Oh, all your stuff is in there in the folder," and it wasn't in the folder. It was take home. It was a lot of paperwork. Take homes, what to do, what not to do. Contact your doctor where you need to go, and that was it. It was just move real fast. You gotta hurry up and get your stuff. And then I also, the train leaves at 2. It leaves at 3, but it arrives at 2:47.
Okay.
You only have one chance to get on the train to leave.
Right.
So they were trying to they were rushing me because I didn't feel like I should have been standing up and doing stuff.
Right, exactly.
Because even my train ride, all I did was lay down. It just lay down after the train ride. When I got to Dallas, just sore. So they were trying to hurry up and get me to the train station in time to get on that train.
Okay.
And I got there just 20, 30 minutes before that train.
Really?
Mm-hmm. It was like bam, 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 really fast. And I was so happy to see my son. I was very happy to see him. I was traumatized. I was
Well, thank you so much. And I'm sure, like a lot of people are wondering, why did you leave the hospital? I mean, the second time, because now you all get it that she went to the hospital the first time, and it was kind of like, okay, hey, we checked her out, you're good.
Oh no, I wasn't good.
That's what they were saying. But again, this is the whole thing, being able to, you knew something wasn't right with your body. I mean, she knew something wasn't right with her body, but they discharged her and even called the police to say, hey, you're trespassing if you don't leave.
And discharging, from what I read, you're not supposed to discharge someone when they're in active labor. And even though I was in pre-labor, I was in labor.
Yeah.
That next day, that was it. It didn't take, I don't know how long exactly it took, but as soon as that pain hit, my water. So, and even with the standard of what is considered to be a stillborn and what's not considered to be a stillborn is another thing too. Because I had stillborn. And some people wouldn't consider 27 weeks that, but it is.
Yes, of course, yeah. So tell me, when you think back to this time, you had your son was 2 years old at the time, and of course, as a mother, we're concerned about this baby that's inside of us, but you have this 2-year-old that you're saying, hey, I need to make sure that he's good, that he's okay. So how did that affect your decisions on things? Because I'm gonna tell you, me, I would have been like, no, I ain't leaving, y'all got to show me something, y'all have to do this, y'all have to do that. So was that a major factor saying, I just need, and when you and I talk, I always hear you say, I just want to get away from it. I just needed to leave.
It was a treatment. I can tell the difference between good treatment and not so good treatment.
Right.
And it was condescending treatment.
So not the empathetic, hospitality.
Not that second time.
No, not the second time.
Not the second time.
So did you think something was wrong? Like even like the moving real fast. I mean, was that suspicious? What was it like? Hey, what are y'all doing?
The trespassing thing was suspicious.
Oh, okay.
We were in the lobby alone. There was no one in there. This was New Year's.
Yeah.
So people are out there.
Party, bring in the New Year.
Bring in the New Year. So there was no one in there, and I'm just, and it became suspicious because of the short distance between me getting discharged and the policeman calling me was was a short distance, and I was thinking, maybe she thinks that I'm trying to, maybe she thinks that I just came in from
Yeah,
outside and didn't know that I was back there already and just got discharged. Because I knew as soon as I didn't know I was getting discharged. I was shocked about that.
Right.
But then when they told me, I said, oh, that's when I went into another type of mode. I said, well, let me call Amtrak, because there wasn't any phones back in the back where I was at. So that was my first time to access to a phone. I said, I knew I was going to call Amtrak first, because that's how I'm going to get out of here.
Right.
And then I'm going to call my family and see if I can reach them. That I knew it was a 50-50 chance that I would reach anyone, because it was December 31st.
Right.
So, you know, that was kind of like, okay, what do you do? What do I do? What do I do?
And you're 20 years old. 20 years old at this time.
20 years old at that time. 20 years old in a place, because when they came and got me in the ambulance, because I'm real assertive. I'm, you know, being from Philly, I'm just a little, you know, I'm sharp on different things, especially when it comes down to survival mode. Because that's what I was going to be in if I would have went out in a snowstorm for sure. But when I was looking around, I was like, from the ambulance, when they came in and got me off the train, I kept saying to myself, I don't see anything. I don't see any grocery stores. All I see is open space, bridges, and like old warehouses. That's all I saw from looking out that back window, that little teeny back window, because I wanted to be observant, because I knew that I gotta figure out how to get back here. I don't know the area code. I don't know the zip code. I don't know anything about where I'm at. So I'm looking at this. So I was thinking about that, and when the trespassing thing hit, it took a whole new outlook on that. Because like I said, I wasn't expecting that. There was nothing that was done to have where they were needed.
Right.
But it was for a reason, you know. So I'm just like, another bigger problem too is that me calling afterwards when I got back to Dallas, trying to obtain records.
And that's what I was going to say. Because okay, so you and your son. Again, you're 20 years old. You have a 2-year-old son with you, and they say, okay, hey, we get you out of here. We're going to get you to the train. And you, 20-year-old, 2-year-old son is mother survival mode, saying, I need to get back to Dallas. I need to, you know, get well, at least somewhere I'm familiar. So when you get back to Dallas, what happens? What happens?
When I get back to Dallas, I went home. At that time, I was living in North Dallas. I went home and I took a shower. So that's what I still had the bloody clothes on. I never changed my clothes.
So they gave you the same clothes that you.
The same clothes I would when I boarded the train in Philadelphia. Those are the same clothes that I had. So I got me and my son together, cleaned us up. I was in shock for a while. But it didn't take long, less than 2 weeks for me to start calling. But also, and now the whole reason too, also, because people say, who travels on New Year's Eve? But I was traveling on what they call a rail pass. So they have what they call blue days, red days, yellow days. And when you are a family member of someone that works for the train, you travel on what they call blue day.
Okay,
So there's set days.
Okay, so that happened. The New Year's happened to be on a blue day.
Okay, and I need to get back. I need to get back to Dallas because I had a prenatal care appointment. See what they didn't know at that hospital. I was up to date on my prenatal care.
Right. So it wasn't like you hadn't been taking care of yourself, which we know. A miscarriage, anything could happen, but it wasn't like you were just not involved in his pregnancy. It
Right.
wasn't like you were
They
doing
probably
what you were supposed to.
said,
Yeah, okay.
So,
So,
yeah, I need to get back.
so you think they just kind of assume that we have this woman here that is
Taking off the train.
taking out the train and just, let's do what we need to do to patch it up and keep it moving.
Who has
Has
a child with
child with
her. That was said, you have your child with you, that, you know, and my insurance, they had a problem with my insurance, with it being out of state because they came and talked to me about it. And they also had a problem with contacting my prenatal care doctor here. Cause they probably were out and celebrating New Year's too. And so that was.
So do you think they really reach out? I'm curious because yeah, we know doctors and hospitals stuff 24/7, but do you from the treatment that you received, do you really think that they was advocating for you like that to reach out to your doctor?
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure.
Because when I got there at 3, they discharged me at 10. That's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 7 hours back there. I was back there for 7 hours before they decided to
just
discharge.
it. So did they give you any kind of, and we kind of going back and forth, guys, or just kind of, and if you have any questions, you are more than welcome. Linda is okay with answering questions. I can't see way up there, but if you have any questions, just go ahead and put them up there, and then we'll go back and I'll check them out, or if she can see them, she can answer them. But whenever she's ready to do that, we can do that. But yeah, so you get back to Dallas, take you a couple of weeks to kind of, cause you're in shock.
I'm in shock and
Traumatized, sad. Yeah.
I'm upset about it, and I start calling.
Okay.
And I never stopped calling all the way until 2023. Never any information. I've been hung up on. They do what I call a bait and switch. They say, oh yeah, you need this department, and they switch you to this one, they switch you to this one, you switch you to this one. By the time you talk to someone, they don't give back, you just got switched so many times. Or I've heard so many things, even to those records were dispersed of.
Well, and that's what I was going to say, because I guarantee you, someone watching is saying, well, you got your medical records, look at your medical records. No medical records.
No medical records, no police. There should be also police reports, because they picked me up at the end.
Yeah, right.
They picked me up at the Silver Cross Hospital. They picked me up at, when I went into labor the second time at Amtrak. There should be that now, and also more in-depth paperwork from DIFAS. Now I do have something from there, but
nothing from the hospital.
nothing from the hospital.
Nothing from the hospital. So basically, the only way that people can say, okay, this woman, were you even there? That's
Right.
Somebody may be saying, were you even there? Did she know for sure that she was there? So, but the police took her there. So the police took you there, the ambulance took you there the next time. But again, the hospital has no records.
No record. And
No
Metro is who owns the rail lines.
Okay.
Metro PD.
So
There's a report number with the Metro PD, but I don't have the report. And that was one of the issues that I kept running into, even with trying to contact malpractice lawyers or contact a lawyer there. They kept on telling me, you need to be here in the actual state. You need to be here in the state. When the records, you got to come in person to pick the records up. They didn't have portals and all that stuff that they have now.
Right.
They didn't get those things. And even with the hospital, we never had one today, They never had one.
just never. And you spent 7 hours there the first time, and then a whole 24 hours the second time. And no records.
No records. There's a record there's a record at the shelter,
Okay.
that they took me to.
Okay.
And it's like I said, it's just our names, our ages, and what time. That's it. Because we didn't have a real intake.
Right. And so even at the shelter, they couldn't verify if you had a baby, right? And even the police, they couldn't verify that. They just know that they took you there, right?
Well, the ambulance and fire department definitely can, because when the call came in from Amtrak.
Okay.
And when the call came in from Amtrak, it was a pregnant woman on the train with a child goes into pretty much.
Okay, so
that's that part.
Okay.
But the hospital part.
The hospital part, which is the major part.
The major
The
part.
major part. Major
Even
part.
like I said, I sent you the report of the babies that were born those 2 years. I always do 2 years because
Yeah, because
2002,
2003. Yeah. So they have a list of all the babies that were born those two at that particular time, and nothing, no Jane Doe,
nothing with I contacted Vital Statistics.
Right.
I contacted like I said, I did the bait and switch. So they have Chicago, Illinois, they're in Illinois, but these little towns are in different counties. So where I was at would be considered to be Will County.
Okay.
But and another thing now is because the old hospital was torn down, and 3 miles down the road they built the new one and renamed that whole little area.
So they renamed the whole hospital.
So sometimes information comes up from that side and not that old side. So I've been told all kinds of stuff, but I've never been able to find anything from the hospital, from Vital Statistics, from Will County, from any government entity information.
Right. So how do you do this? How have you made it? How have you how have you gotten to this point and with insane? Yeah.
Well, it almost took me there. I got so to the point where I just didn't want to be here anymore at one point, but I went and told someone.
Okay.
I got some help.
And that's the main thing. And that's the whole thing that I want to come from this podcast and YouTube channel, whatever. So I want to know. I want people to know that regardless of what you have experienced, that you can. That's what she said. I got some help. I mean, yeah, because that's just amazing, and to be able to know that I have got, because you have to walk through it, and by this time you have another son. I mean,
I got pregnant about 4 months later.
Okay, so about 4 months later, you got pregnant.
So that was everything.
Yeah.
I already had my 2-year-old, but to have another baby, it was different. I held it differently. And that was a major thing. And also understanding the transformation of life and death. Also, that helped in a big way with my healing. And then now where I'm at is closure. And
so
I want to know.
That's your closure. It's finding it just not. So how do you say that? How do you say, okay, I might never know?
You go through the different stages, and where I'm at now is if I don't know, I'm at a point where it's accepted.
It's accepting. Okay, acceptance. Acceptance. Yeah, acceptance. Yeah, that's a good one. Just acceptance.
Acceptance. You know, and also even with my research over the years, because I never stopped researching is it's hard to research things when you're not actually active in that place and hear what the people are saying, what the streets are saying,
Right.
what people experiences. But I've been able to find so many different experiences from that one hospital. A lot, a whole lot, same type of situations, and it's a lot.
Yeah. And it happens often, and it happens often to Black and brown women.
Yeah.
It really does. It really does. And I often say that, I don't know, like even the first time you went to the hospital, to just not to tell you that, no, even if they didn't have a heartbeat, should something have been done to see, okay, let's see what's going on, and then for you to know something was going on with your body.
Yeah.
That's so important for us to advocate for ourselves and our health, and especially when it comes down to having babies and giving birth and things like that. So I just think you're awesome. The first time I met you, we just started on a whole different level, and then this popped up, and this won't be the last time you guys will be seeing or hearing anything that Linda does. But I just admire the fact that you're able to continue to function in a healthy way by being able to go get help. I mean, no substance abuse use, no acting out in unhealthy ways, because that's what we do a lot of times. We self-medicate. We make it numb. And that
Some people have anger.
anger. Oh, yeah, because I think the first time we started talking, I was like, you all be mad at everybody in the situation. Like, no. I'm like, okay. But yeah, that anger.
I was at first, I was like, oh, because I got that fire.
Yeah.
And
You got that feeling.
That's natural. And I just said, you know what? If I had one person with me, they wouldn't be able to pull that off. Just get out of it. It was for a reason. And this is it.
Yeah. I just know this is going to be such a blessing and help for somebody. And like I told you earlier, it may not be this may not be their particular situation, but being able to know how to walk through things that have taken place in our lives. And some people may look at it and go, oh, that was 20 years ago, but this woman wakes up to this every day.
Yeah.
Every day. I mean, her son that was with her, he may not remember a whole lot, but I know at some point there's kind of like, hey, make off in that soul somewhere.
That's something that we definitely do. And even with people saying 20 years ago, when I was calling, trying to get information, I kept hearing it. It was like 2 years. That was 2 years ago. That was 5 years ago.
They can't let it go.
Yeah. And it's like, no.
Yeah.
Keep it going. And I
So
cross so many paths of people that have experienced that.
Okay. Yeah. And so did you, at any point, did you ever say, you know what, I'm letting go?
Yeah, sometimes when I was rejected and being so, shrunk, because I know what I went through, and I know this has to be something. I don't believe that their records are dispersed. I know that's not true. So there was times where I would say, and letting it go for me is just like, it's not, I'm not trying to relive the situation so I could change it.
Because you really can't.
Right.
You really can't. I mean,
It happened.
Yeah, it happened.
But I can share it.
Right.
So there might be someone going through it or going to go through it. I just know what to do. Because at that time I didn't know how to advocate for myself. The words, especially when you're dealing with people who use certain words against you.
Yeah.
And especially when you are in a medical emergency, you are in need.
Right.
You're looking for a safe place.
A safe place,
A
yes.
safe place to go to. So that's where I was at. And you know, and I made it through.
Yeah.
I made it home. I was so
I
happy.
see it. Yeah.
Whew. The
Yeah.
train ride, it was the best ride I've ever been on.
Real. Just
Yes, just laying there.
Relaxing.
I was staring at my son. He was, I could tell he was exhausted.
yeah.
He just laid there. And
Yeah.
when-
Just being still. Just yeah.
The staff took care of me
Cool.
too by giving us things. And I was just so ready to get back on Dallas soil.
Yeah.
You know, I was just like, oh, I don't know. And it took me a while. I didn't get on trains for a long time.
I bet that's what I was saying. Even just traveling,
Mhm.
yeah.
And it changed also the way I feel about hospitals too.
That's
You know,
right.
I used to go in panic mode if I, had to go
Just
to the
had to,
hospital. I
right.
wasn't sure, what to expect, what kind of care, to expect. So I went through that change. I went through things sometimes that trigger you. You may watch a movie and maybe something may happen to a baby in a movie and it may trigger you. Sometimes I used to get triggered and start calling,
Yeah. Just
And-
and put that song. Yeah. Like when we get upset with something, and somebody didn't even think about that. Like let me call and tell
Yes,
this.
I did that before.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I got so mad one time. I called my lady's name, and that's not like
That's not like
all.
yeah.
She said something. Oh, and I let her have it. But my lawyer said, don't alert anyone.
Yeah.
You don't want to alert anyone.
Yeah.
Anything like that because we should be able to have access to things.
Yeah. Things that belong to us.
That's right.
That's part of
That's
my
why
yeah.
do the genealogy.
Yeah.
It's a lot of things that belong to us that we don't know.
That we don't know. Yeah. Well, I'm just so grateful, and again, my thing is I want to be able to encourage someone, and I appreciate people like Linda that becomes transparent, because so many times we get in this mode. If something happened to us, I deal with it. I don't need everybody knowing how, and we just block our blessings.
Yeah.
We block our blessings because we have to be able to let somebody else know that you're not alone.
That's right.
You're not alone. I don't know anybody else that has been in a situation like this, but I tell you, since you and I met and you've been sending me things and I'm reading and looking at things, I'm like, oh my goodness.
It's a
See,
lot.
there were other people, yeah.
Racism.
Yeah, just
it's a lot.
yeah.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
And that's what the conductor told me when I reached out to the conductor because she looked just like me.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
look, I'm going through this situation. What do I do? She was like, well, I took since you're here, you have to get off. And I was like, I think I can make it to Dallas. She said, no. She said to me, this is the stop that you would want to get off at. She said, anything else after this stop, it's not good.
Really? So she's thinking that this is a good,
That's a good location.
Yeah.
She said all the other stations were not where I would like to get off at. And she didn't go into detail, but I knew what she was talking about.
Right.
when she said that.
And so she was pretty much referring to the station or just
The area.
The area.
She said it was
Okay.
nothing but little sundown.
Okay.
towns
Right. Okay.
After Joliet.
Okay.
So that's where, and when she did that, then there was a couple that was a seated in front of us. They heard the couple, the conductor, they just all got around me and they prayed.
All
Then I got off.
And
And I'm just thankful.
Yes. Well, I'm just so grateful for your story, and I hope that you said the key word acceptance, and once we can accept some things in our lives, especially things that have happened in the past, and we can freely share those things, it just makes a difference. And I'm hoping that this conversation was able to help somebody. If you're in a situation to where you may have had something that you're dealing with. It might not be this particular thing, but it may be something that you're dealing with and you're saying, on a long time. So many times we struggle because we lack acceptance. Because it's hard for us to accept the things that we need to accept. So I think when we can get to a point and accept things, that's amazing. That's amazing. So do you have anything else you want to share, or what?
Any questions?
Yeah, let me. Can you see up there? 'Cause girl, yeah, I can grab it. I can get it. Yeah. What I'll do is
We don't need these.
no, we don't need. No, we're good. What I will do is let's see. Everybody just kind of saying hello. I don't have anybody have any questions or anything? If not, yeah. Okay. Let's see. Let's go back up here. Anybody have any questions? If you have any questions, please let me know. If you have any questions for Miss Linda, let me know. Hey everybody, hey, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you very much. Okay, my daughter asked what's going on there, but I think we answered that. Is she working with people? What do you mean working with people? Working with other people to help her kind of put some closure on this? Is that what you mean, Miss Terry? I think we may have answered that because she said what's going on now.
Like working with people?
Yeah, I think when for like people who are helping with like attorneys and things like that, I think that might be what she's saying.
I help different people with as far as this goes with community work. I've done some classes, speaking on signs, how to advocate for yourself. I incorporate that with the genealogy work that I do.
Okay.
So all that's a part of that also.
Okay.
And the genealogy work I do, I want to say, is a difference between like getting tested and doing something on paper. I am a historian on paper. Genealogy.
Yeah, and we definitely, I want to bring her back on at some point so she can talk about that. That's amazing. You should hear the things that she said about that and how you can say her name and she'll be like, oh yeah, that's so genuine. So I'm like, hey, okay. But I appreciate you guys so much for tuning in. And to continue, you can go ahead and if you have any more questions, drop them in the chat and then I will pass them along to Miss Linda. But just know that if you're out there and you have some things going on that you are trying to put some closure on or some acceptance, then hey, you're not by yourself. I promise you're not by yourself. Right. So this is great. I just thank you so much, and I think this is amazing. Her son is here. He's over there chilling. We're not gonna mess with him. We're gonna let him make it. He's such a handsome young man. He looks like my son sitting over there. I looked over and I'm like, Dad, he looks like Little Will. But thank you so much for joining us and sitting in with us as well. I asked her before how it may have affected him, but she said that a lot of it he didn't remember. So and that's kind of a good thing, I guess, because it could definitely traumatize a person. So
and they know both of them.
Yeah.
They know
right
about what happened. You know that they have another sister that didn't make it, so they understand.
Right.
Okay. They understand that, and being very transparent with them, but still in a way to where it doesn't, it doesn't affect. Right. Take it to, personalize it and just, let it affect their life and what they think and all that. So
right.
It happens. So that's what.
Well, it happened to a very strong woman, that's for sure. A very strong woman, and I just admire your strength and courage. And if you guys want to, again, if you think of some questions later, want to put them in the chat, I'll pass them along to Linda. Okay, let's see.
Yes, I'll answer any.
All right, let's see. We got some more up here. Let's see. We got some more. To get more answers, have you been back to the town? No, not back to the town.
I wanted to go back, but if I do, I'm going to be not by myself.
Right,
You know,
right.
Definitely gonna try to find information, but I haven't.
Yeah.
I haven't.
She have not been back to the town. Okay, they said to get more answers. I guess she was saying to get more answers.
Oh, yes. Wish I
Yeah.
I was thinking about, like 6 years after, I was thinking about going back to the town, but I never got a chance to.
So would you like to do that?
Oh, yeah.
So what's stopping you?
Nothing's stopping me now. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Nothing at all.
Okay.
No fear.
No fear. You
Yeah.
just hadn't done it
Just
yet.
haven't done it yet. Just
Okay.
kind of just after I just raising children and doing the business and
Right.
just haven't got a chance to. But it's something that I'll definitely
Yeah.
want to go and do and document
Okay.
while I'm doing that.
She said, when you go back, let me know with some go. No, ma'am.
Oh, yeah.
No, ma'am. No,
I'll
ma'am.
let you know for sure.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Let me make sure I hadn't missed any other questions or anything. And again, you guys, let's see. Hey, Amber. Hey. All right. Well, if you guys think of anything else, again, Miss Linda says she's willing to answer questions a little later if we get
And
some.
if you go to the online and you
Okay.
just type in Versus, the hospital I was at was called Silver Cross Hospital.
Okay.
So Versus Silver Cross, you'll see so many cases. And in my type of situation, they call it I'm gonna say EMTALA, EMTALA case. So once you put that word in, you'll be able to see everything come up on there. Mm-hmm. Cool.
I'm telling you, this chick is smart. I mean, she's smart. I don't know what they thought they was dealing with back then, but she is not the one. She is not the one. Very, very, very smart. Very intelligent. So okay, then I'm not gonna hold her up anymore. But I am just elated. I tell you. And then another thing, I'm gonna share this. Then I'll let her say what she wants to say to close us out, as they say in church. I want to say she and I both have been all week just kind of. I got sick last week, just feeling bad, feeling terrible, and then she was having some car issues. I'm telling you, the enemy was just all over this. And I was like, no, I was out doing some outreach last night till after 11 o'clock, and we were supposed to kind of go with some things together, but that did not happen. But it did not stop it. We rocking and rolling. I made sure that they were ready to go, and I appreciate her taking time out of her schedule to come and hang out and talking with Tabitha. So tell us what you want us to know and close with that, girl.
I just want to say thank you. Thank you for having me and having me to share my story. And I hope this touches someone, and even the ones before me and after me. And I want to say that to advocate for yourself. Stand 4 toes. 4 toes. Stand 10 toes.
10 toes. Well, you know, we put those for yeah. I got you.
10 toes.
Yeah.
Advocate for yourself. Don't be afraid. Speak, and speak it out loud.
Yeah.
You know,
Speak it loud.
loud. Share your story. It's all relevant. Yeah. You know, and that's it.
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you all so much for joining us. Have an amazing afternoon. And if you don't have an amazing afternoon, don't go messing up somebody else's amazing afternoon. And if you're having a problem with getting your day started and going, start it over. And remember, if you start it over a few times, you start it over, and it may just be like, you may do like Miss Linda said, accept that where you are today and be ready for tomorrow. Alrighty? And remember, you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. Drink that water. Get some movement in. Because Miss Linda got me. Because I was like, what kind of drink you want? So she was like, drink water. I'm like, okay, water. So anyway, you guys have a good one. And also, today is squat day 22. And I believe it's 85 squats, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm caught up. I haven't done mine for today, but I'm caught up from those days that I was under the weather. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. And just keep Linda in your prayers with this whole situation that maybe what her closure looked like, then she will definitely find it one day. Thank you all so much.